Rockets and airstrikes have brought life in parts of Israel and Gaza to a standstill. Following clashes between Palestinians and Israeli police in Jerusalem, the violence has been escalating all week.
There are these ongoing tensions, and those tensions have been there for a very long time. And those tensions are stoked by inequality and poverty, and an absence of a strong economy and jobs, and perhaps even arguably a strong future for many Palestinians within their lands.
Palestinians have fired rockets towards Jerusalem, and the Israeli army launched airstrikes in Gaza, a Palestinian territory governed by a group called Hamas. The past week has seen the worst violence in years, and according to one sociologist, there are long-standing reasons.
Last week was also an accumulation of weeks and months of attempting to intimidate the Palestinians not to come close to Jerusalem.
Protests and clashes erupted after Israeli police set up barricades outside certain holy sites. Officers say they were trying to maintain order. Threatened eviction of some Palestinian families in East Jerusalem has also contributed to the tensions. For generations, Jews and Arabs in the region haven't agreed on who the land should belong to and how it should be divided up. Since the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, Israeli law permits Jews to reclaim property that they or their families owned in Jerusalem before the division of the city after Israel's creation, as long as they could prove ownership of the land. But this law has been criticized since Palestinians cannot claim the same rights. The big issues at hand are whether a Palestinian state should be created alongside Israel, whether Jewish settlements in the Palestinian territory of the West Bank should stay or go, and whether the two sides should share Jerusalem.
And that is such a fragile area that a total war is not, out of thought. But that is scary, very scary. And the world should be scared about this and should not allow this, because civilians are going to be the main victims of this whole war.
Palestinian medical officials say in the last week, hundreds have been killed in Gaza, including women and children. And Israeli authorities say children have lost their lives in Israel too, with the death toll standing at almost a dozen.
We really need to try to take steps, to achieve some sort of peace or some sort of coexistence. But in order for that to happen, there's going to need to be some real concrete steps of trust building on both sides.
Peace talks have been taking place on and off for more than 25 years. But so far, there has been no resolution. And until that happens, more innocent civilians are expected to die. Emanuela Campanella, Global News.